this morning I'm in Swindon, of all places. Just dropped my Bonneville off, and they've lent me a speed twin 1200. I was going to have a Tiger 660, but it's that perennial problem of getting my leg over. I might have been able to get on it, but I doubt whether I'd be able to get off the bloody thing. So I'm going to go off and have a little ride around on this one and do a comparison. I have noticed one difference as soon as I got on it, and that is that I've read about this before, but the 1200 appears to be a little bit more snatchy on takeoff. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Harder seat as well, but at least the seat is at the right height. The brakes work, because you've got the double disc on the front of the 1200, which does make a bit of a difference. So as I go past the famous Sparkles Brewery, or the Kingstown Brewery I should say, which is owned by Arkles. What I'm going to do today is just a general comparison, I think, of two very similar bikes, my 900 T100 and this 1200 Speed Twin. I just spoke to a guy actually in the bike shop, and when he saw I was going out on the Speed Twin, he said, I've got one of them. He said, it's really, really nice bike. He said, and I said I've got the 900 and this is the 1200, and he said, well, yeah. He said, you've just got that bit of extra oomph when it comes to overtaking. And I'm thinking, well, anybody who had a bigger bike than someone else would say that. I mean, crumbs. I haven't got a problem overtaking anything that I want to overtake on the 900. And for both of these bikes, they will be exceptionally uncomfortable doing more than about 65, 70 miles an hour. Certainly for any length of time. They're unfared, and on the way down here I was doing 70 for a while, and it wasn't very pleasant. I felt like my arms were being pulled out of my sockets, and the helmet was going to blow off. Anyway, more later. Another thing I've noticed straight away, this bike has got bar end mirrors on it, and I really can't see behind me any better than I can with the standard mirrors. Whether that's because of my interesting shape, I somehow don't think so. They work this just fine, but they're no better than the standard mirrors. And of course the standard mirrors are not likely to get broken or damaged when you go through somewhere fairly narrow. So let's see how it goes. Bishopstone Duck Pond. And lovely little spot actually. Bit of a dreary day though, but lovely part of the country, Wiltshire, east of Swindon. So here is the bike in question, Triumph Speed Twin 1200. Not going to go through the specs of it because if you're interested in a bike like this, you already know about it. But a couple of things occur to me straight away. I've only driven it probably 8 or 9 miles. It's snatchy when you're pulling away. Yeah, it does feel like it's got some bit more poke there than my bike has got. If I needed that much more. The mirrors, I guess they look quite nice, but they're vulnerable, and you don't see any more from the driving position. And the other thing that occurred to me is I used to have a Speed Twin. Well, that was an original one. So it was a 500. But of course, engines in those days weren't woked down like they are now. And it struck me as a pretty pokey bike when I had the 500 back in the 1960s. Just coming down into the village of Childry, and very unusually for me, I don't know what the time is, but it does feel like it's coffee time. It looks like I'm going from pond to pond as well. Here I am at Childry Stores. Coffee and cakes it says on here, so let's hope so.
Yeah. I do that. She gave me because she didn't do anything on that day this time. No, exactly. Yeah, I think you're right.
Just enjoyed a cup of coffee and a little snack. And here in Childry, and then I'm going to head for the Lambourne Downs, where I'm going to see what this is like when it's opened up a little bit. The old camera kept moving then as I picked up speed. Obviously this crocodile thing I have it on isn't good with wind resistance. Lovely spot, these downs. This is the Lambourne Downs, and it's horse country, racehorse country, major racehorse training area here. Beautiful countryside in this most densely populated country in Europe. You wouldn't know it from here. Village of Great Shefford. Another Berkshire village. Oh, I know where I am now. So this is going to lead me down to Hungerford. Antique garden objects place. Driven past here loads of times. Bloody prices. Oh, there's an extra zero on the end of everything. Unbelievable prices. So now going into Hungerford. Nice little town. And I'm going to head down to Wilton. Oh. About to go over the canal. Just here. Blimey, must be market day. Uh-oh, they're after me again. Or are they late for lunch? There's a possibility of that. I tried to go down to the Wilton windmill, but that was closed. So here I am now in Crofton, where they have the beam engines. Crofton beam engine, which lifted water for the canal. Back in the old days, a steam engine. Seen it working. What's the betting it'll be shut tight today? So here we are at Crofton beam engine, which was the steam engine that lifted water for the Avon and Kennet Canal back in the old days. And once again closed, but I guess okay, it's Thursday, so maybe that's not unreasonable. Everything's chained up. Anyway, so I just thought I'd run through a few similarities and differences again that I've noticed with this bike. I mean, first of all, it has the same dials as mine does. The only difference is, which is quite a positive thing actually, the on mine the petrol warning, low petrol warning light comes on at about 45 miles, whereas I just noticed this one came on at 30, which in a way is much more helpful, because you don't really want that blinking at you with we've still got another 40 miles to go. So we have these bar end mirrors, which work absolutely fine, but they don't work any better than the standard ones. And of course they are vulnerable right on the end of the handlebars like that. So why fit them? Hello. The seat. The seat is a different shape, different physical size, and I would say flatter and less comfortable than the seat on the T100. The exhaust, as you can see, is different. I mean, this, to all intents and purposes, is a Bonneville. I think the Bonneville looks right with pea shooter exhaust on it. This one's got crash bars. I don't know whether that was an aftermarket thing or not. One very noticeable thing I have to say is the brakes. This has got a double disc on the front, and when you touch the brakes, when you touch the front brake, you do know it. I mean, like with my brake, my front brake, you just have to pull it on a little bit more forcefully. It's not that my brakes are bad, but these are much more aggressive, I would say, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I mean, when I first used it, I nearly shot off over the handlebars. It was so effective, shall we say. Yeah, so I'm not a great lover of the exhaust. This one has different, slicker tyres on it than mine has, or I think it has. What else did I notice? I'll have to... I mean, it's a lovely bike. Sounds nice. Would sound nicer with the pea shooter. Oh, that little side stand there. Why is it every time you've got a bike, different bikes, you can't find the damn side stand? Oh, the pedals here. I would definitely say that this is somewhat smaller than it is on the, and I can just feel it on my toe. These aren't, this is, I don't have those on my Bonneville, I don't think I do. Teach me to be observant, wouldn't it? One of the things I do like about both bikes though, and that is the position of the fuel cap. As you see, it's on one side of the tank, but when you're on the side stand in the gas station, the cap is level with the top. So if you want to brim it, you can brim it without petrol going all over the place. So I think now I'm going to head off into Marlborough for some fish and chips. Better not tell the trouble and strife I'm having about. Oh yeah, and I like my traditional Triumph badge, whereas that's just been painted on. Very little difference though, really, a few details. So, at least we've been to see something slightly interesting. The old beam engine. The world's oldest steam beam engine. Still working and still able to do its original job of lifting water into the canal. We've got a train going by. So we are now in the Savernake forest. One of the oldest original forests in England. Used to be an old tree here, really old, huge tree, and I do believe it may have gone. Is this it? Half fallen down? Yeah. This is it here on the right. People have carved it on it and everything. It's just a shell of its former self, unfortunately. But it was very old, and I think it came down in thunder and lightning or something. I was down here with the present Mrs. Little a few days ago, and we used to go camping with our caravan in the campsite just over to the right of here, literally in the forest. And I can remember one Easter we were down here, and I stepped into the forest, into in under the trees. I almost still can't believe what I saw. The whole of the ground appeared to be moving, and it was basically snakes that had come out of their winter lair and were disappearing off in all directions. And these snakes were adders, which are our only poisonous snake. But it gave me the heebie-jeebies. This is what it's all about. Do you still have half a pint in every pub?
I wish.
Those days have gone.
They have gone.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I got one in the last one.
Oh well, that's fair enough then.
I didn't have half though, I had a point.
Oh, fair play to you. Cheers, mate. Oh well. There's the Wadworth's pub. Beautiful flowers outside. So I am now in Marlborough. I've had no phone call from the people that are servicing my bike, so I'm going to carry on and do a bit more. So right ahead of us now is Marlborough College, where This is where Kate Middleton was educated. Neat little village. Can't remember what this one's called now, actually. Oh, the sun's come out. And review of the Triumph Speedway has turned into a little bit of a general bimble around Wiltshire, actually. But given that this kind of bike is designed for this, it's not a bike to be going up and down the motorway at 90 miles an hour on. We're simply using the bike for what it was designed for. I'm not sure I'd really want to be riding this around London. It's relatively heavy to move around. If you have to keep on stopping over and over again, that would be a bit of a pain. So right now we're actually riding along a B road, or a C road even, parallel to the A4, which is running out from Marlborough towards Avebury. Just down here there's some beautiful houses. So this is beautiful over here. That's two houses, semi-detached. I'm just going to go a bit further along, because there's another one along here. Beautiful thatched cottage, really traditional, that one. Four magpies, 4 for gold. I need some gold. So this area here is called the Marlborough Downs. Well, the sheep here always have been. But then just along the edge here there's a steep decline in the topography down onto another flat level vale, or whatever you want to call it, between here and Salisbury Plain. So as you can see, we're up quite high here, and then the high ground just sort of shelves away quickly into the vale. And then in the distance here you can see another area of upland, Salisbury Plain, in the distance. Another interesting thing here is, you don't need me to point that out, there's little terraces. That is made over hundreds and hundreds of years of sheep walking along there. Incredible, actually. I pointed out this fuel cap earlier, which, like mine, is very good. It looks like it's brushed steel or brushed aluminium, but it has to be said, I don't know whether it's metal or plastic, because look, mine's a solid chrome cap. This is a bit of a disappointment.
Hi Rob, it's Harrison here from Dave Motorcycles. Just giving you a buzz just to let you know that your bike is ready to collect when you're ready to pop on down. And hope you've been having fun. Alright, take care, bye. Ready to pop on down. And hope you've been having fun on the speed twin. Look forward to seeing you soon. Alright, take care, bye for now.
So it's about 2 o'clock now, and I've just had a call from the garage saying my bike's ready. So I've done about, I've done 61 miles now. By the time I get back to the garage, it'll probably be nearer 80. So been a nice ride out, actually. A little shower of rain. I hope it's going to stay dry my ride home. So as I ride up towards Avebury prehistoric standing stones, you'll see some over in the field on the left there. Just reminded of one other difference. My legs are definitely tucked up more on this bike than they are on the T100. I guess that's down to possibly more racy seating position. I don't know, but the actual foot pegs, I'm sure I've got rubber foot pegs on mine, which are more comfortable than these, and as I say, my legs are tucked up more. The brake, the foot brake and the gear change are physically smaller as well, which, I don't know, didn't help me. I can't see any way. I guess if you were literally riding it as a racing bike, it would be slightly different. So there we have some more stones. But I can't see why they would be smaller on a bike like this. Another thing I've suddenly thought of. This bike is 6 speed, 6 gears. Mine is 5. But the gears are very much closer together on this bike. I'm not sure that 6th gear offers much. In fact, I'm going to see how many revs I'm doing. Okay, so I'm now doing 50 miles an hour. In fact, I'm going to do 3,000 revs. 3,000 revs here is just below 60. Between 55 and 60. 50 miles an hour is probably about 2,600 revs in 6th. So I'm going to see, I'll see what it is in 5th actually, too. So in 5th, 3,000 revs is exactly 50 miles an hour in 5th. So I'm going to have a look and see how it is if I think of it on the way home. Swindon, quite high up here. Right, so back in Swindon again. You can see from this little sign here, we're coming up to the magic roundabouts. 5 mini roundabouts all together. So I'm back in Swindon, and yes, the brake and foot pegs are different on my Bonneville to on the to on here. To be honest, it's much easier to operate on the Bonneville. Interesting. Nice to have had an opportunity to compare and contrast there. And yeah, the foot pegs are definitely higher on the Speed Twin. And finally, another difference that I should have noticed, of course, spoked wheels on the Bonneville, molded wheels on the Speed Twin. Anyway, very interesting. Back on the Bonneville. The old Speed Twin there. Interesting, because I can already feel that this is not as snatchy as the Speed Twin. Having said that, it is also there is a difference in power, that's for sure, but I don't think it's the kind of difference in power that you've got that oomph when you're looking for that oomph. And I think I've got the oomph here. No sweat. Well, this is interesting, because when I'm doing 30 miles an hour in second on this bike, I'm doing 3,000 revs. So I'm doing 3,000 revs. I'm doing 3,000 revs in third, and I'm doing 40 miles an hour on this bike. And I'm doing This is interesting. I'm doing the same, the gearing on the 6th gear on the Speed Twin is the same as 5th gear here. I'm doing 3,000 revs, and I'm doing about 57 miles an hour. That is interesting. So that 6th gear is exactly the same gearing as 5th on this one. It's just that the gears are closer together on the Speed Twin. I'm not sure what you gain by that. Anyway, that was an interesting little exercise. I'm on my way home. Final thoughts, really. So why would I have wanted the 1200? Well, it is slightly more responsive, but then you've got to change gear more often. And when I say it's more responsive, I never ride this one flat out. So I never open the throttle more than about halfway. So why would I want it? The other thing is, my bike, I'm just checking now, is doing about 66 to the gallon. Less actually than some people get out of their T100s, but then of course we have to remember my stature. Effectively I'm riding 2 up all the time. However, on the Speed Twin, I looked at the average fuel consumption. I don't know what period of time it went over, but it was only doing 55. So that's assuming that you give a damn about fuel consumption. To be honest, I don't, but it just goes to show that you know, the 1200 is more thirsty than the 900. So why would I want a 1200? There's absolutely no way I'd go out and buy a 1200 unless I really like the bike for some reason. And I think I'm more likely to be going down to the 400 that's going to be coming here before too long, rather than rather than going up to the 1200. Anyway, a bit more editing to do. The rain has mostly held off. It's just spitting again now. Well, I've been lucky, I think. Oh, I think I'm going to accelerate away quickly if I can. Mrs. Little is busy mowing the grass.